Hey guys, welcome to a new video. So today is a big day for Supernatural. There was the final Supernatural Comic Con in the whole H. Unfortunately, it's the word final. We're gonna hear that a lot. We keep hearing it on social media. It is the final season. It is very dreadful every time I see the word final. But it was the final Supernatural Comic Con panel today, and with it, a lot of news came out, especially with interviews with the cast after the panel. And the big news we have to cover today in this video is that Adam will officially return in season 15, according to TV Line. I have an article right here. A fan sent it to me in the email. I appreciate that. Thank you to Nick who sent that to me. I told him I'm gonna look at it, cover it in a video, and here we are. So, been speculating about Adam's return for a while now. I even made a video about that a while ago, several videos actually, but the most recent one was last year, towards the end of season 14. And there's all speculation of Adam returning by when we see in the ending of season 14, the Gates of Hell opening. We weren't sure if this includes a cage in hell, but now it seems like this is the most likely outcome. How Adam will come back is the opening of the cage. So I'm gonna take a look at an article by TV Line of the news and talk about it a little bit. One of the first RSVPs for Supernatural's 15th and final season is Jake Abel, who will reprise his role as Dean and Sam's half-brother Adam. Co-showrunner Andrew Dabb revealed the casting news in the press room following the CW's drama's final San Diego Comic-Con panel. Again, the word final, like I said, we're gonna keep saying that a lot. Adam was last seen in season 5 when he, as Michael's vessel, was sent to hell during a big fight with Sam as Lucifer. No details were disclosed about the nature of his return, but again, if we were to speculate, at the end of season 14, we've seen how God turned on the boys and pretty much started a new apocalypse, releasing souls from hell. And we know that Adam is in hell, although it's not just in general, like, rooms of hell. It is in a very special locked cage, Lucifer's cage in hell. So would that be as simple as God opened everything in hell and Adam just, getting out and coming back? I don't know if it's going to be that simple. I hope it's a little more subtle than that, because that would be very obvious, but either way, that seems to be the obvious route you can take, was bringing a lot of characters back from throughout the 14th season, including obviously Adam, and how would Adam feel coming back to life, coming back to Earth, about, the boys never really trying to save him for all this time. Will he be like a vengeful spirit? Will he get back to his body somehow? Or just be like an angry spirit haunting the boys, like we've seen before in the series, with previous characters being brought back and haunting the boys, like Joe, for example, at some point. It's not exactly clear what's the nature of Adam's return, aside from the obvious that, Gates of Hell opened, God opened them, Adam gets out. Other than that, we don't really have anything much more to latch on to, except like speculation, which, like I said, could be like in a form of villain, maybe, Adam coming back, or will he simply just forgive the boys and have like a happy family time before the series ends? It's not clear, but I don't think it's going to be as simple as that. It's definitely going to be a lot of drama, as we used to with Supernatural, obviously. We also have a video in the same article of Jensen talking about Adam's return early on from CW's Upfront, and the cast in general talking about previewing season 15. So let's watch this video together and talk about it.
So much happened in that finale. God's the big bad, Jack dying, hell on earth. What most excited you about it?
What it tees up for next season. The fact that God just said, fine, open up the gates to hell, open up the gates of heaven. You guys figure it out. I think really tees us up to go anywhere. I also think it tees us up to have a lot of people come back, a lot of familiar faces and favorite characters kind of come back into the fray.
Jensen, I think, kind of misspoke there when he said, Gates of Hell and Heaven. I don't think Gates of Heaven opened up, just Gates of Hell. At least according to what we saw, unless he spoiled something. Castiel told them that it is, souls from hell. He didn't say anything about heaven, but unless Jensen just spoiled something else, that also Gates of Heaven open, could just be him, he misspeaking, saying Gates of Heaven open. As far as we know, it's just Gates of Hell. Unless it's a spoiler, we'll find out.
That's kind of what I'm hoping for. I think a lot of people are wondering about the Adam aspect of it.
Here you go.
Being locked in the cage, that cage open up. Do we get to have? Does Jake come back and reprise his role?
He will.
There's just a lot of opportunity to go a lot of different places, and that's kind of what I'm excited about. The fact that we're going into the last season, and there's no clear-cut way of which way it's going to go.
What about most excited me? I love we've done 14 of them now. I love reading the finale and reading the cliffhanger. Every year, I can remember 14 times reading the last scene of the last episode of the season, and so seeing the predicament that the boys are in, and shooting the ending sequence with Chuck being the bad guy and Jack dying and the zombies, it was filmed over several days, because we were at the mercy of the elements, so we needed daylight for certain things, we needed nighttime for certain things.
Elements in Vancouver? Really?
Yes, exactly. And the Vancouver rainy season, no less, in March. And so it took several days to film, and we were able to kind of get into it, and we were out of this location that we use quite often. And so we were all kind of in it together. It felt very much like a family. We talk about the SPN family all the time. It felt very much like, Rob is there, and Alex is there, and Misha, and Jensen, and I am there, and our directors, and some of our guest cast. So it was a nice way to end the season and set up for the final leg of this show.
What about it most excited you?
I think the resurrection on the show of God and discovering that God is the big bad was a very exciting move, partly because it makes me wonder whether we will incur the wrath of God in the real world for this blasphemy.
Is there a monster or creature you hope to revisit during the final season?
Hookman.
I always love shapeshifters for whatever reason.
Shapeshifters are awesome.
Yeah, they're fun. I love the dynamic of not knowing. I love the dynamic of seeing on screen somebody not know exactly who they're talking to, and the audience kind of knows. I remember the first time we did it, episode called Skin in season 1, where Dean had been taken over by a shapeshifter. It's so fun to watch. And Jared knew, as Sam, that Dean wasn't Dean right then. But those are scenes that I really enjoy watching. I love the dynamic and the writing, and yeah.
Jared was keen on the shapeshifters.
I don't know. It's always fun with the vamps. The vampires are always fun to take out.
Don't like vamps much.
But creature.
Is there a monster or creature you hope to revisit during the final season?
Well, I mean, we're getting to see all of the souls in hell come back to Earth, and so I think that the multitude of monsters that we're facing at the outset of the final season is I think the most exciting foe we could conceive of.
Do you think with Hell back on Earth that we might see Yellow Eyes again?
Oh, that'd be awesome. Is Hazel coming back? There'd be a lot of fun. Fred Lane's amazing. He's an amazing actor. And it was also a great... That's actually great. I hope so. We're talking to the writers in a couple weeks. I'll put in my vote. I'll give you credit.
That would be possible for Yellow Eyes to come back from hell, because demons, when they die, they go to the empty, right? So that wouldn't be a way to bring him back, but if they want to find another way to pull him out of the empty, that'd be great. He was pretty much the best villain of the series, at least up to Lucifer showed up. Lucifer is kind of the most charismatic villain. I would say the best villain who's also charismatic is Yellow Eyes. He was like the very first big bad of the series that lasted all the way to like season 2, right? When he was killed at the end of season 2 and Dean killed him with a cold. So I kind of really miss Yellow Eyes, really, and I would like him to come back. Will they bring him back in the final season? I don't know, but I agree with Jared and the host here that it would be great to bring him back.
I hope so. But that's the thing. It's like, let's get Fred Lane back. Let's get Jake Abel back. Let's get Tim Amundsen back. Let's get some of these guys that have just been, have done such amazing jobs with the characters that have come through the show. And
I don't know.
Let's see.
Don't really
what we
want
can do with
Kane.
them. But again, it's there's a lot more involved than just having them back. There's a lot of moving parts. We got to make sure these guys are available because they're in high demand.
Do you think they're going to revisit the deal that Cass made with regard to Jack, or are you almost worried that they will because of what the ramifications might be for your character?
I think we probably will see that come back around. I don't remember the exact line, but it's when Cass feels content or happy, that's when the empty will come and take him again and permanently kill him. I'll be constantly on the lookout when I'm reading scripts as they come in for Cass being happy or content, because that might spell doom for him.
Alright, that was a great couple of interviews here by TV Line. In the very first one, Jensen did touch on him wanting Jake Adam to return. This was from an earlier interviews, like I said, back in CW Upfronts, like a month or two ago. So this is before it was officially confirmed today by the same company, TV Line. So now we know he is coming back. The guys really like the guy. They want him to come back. They have a good relationship with the actor. Adam doesn't really have a good relationship with the boys. He never really did. He just showed up in their lives out of nowhere. He was very bitter and resentful towards them. I don't imagine like a healthy relationship between them just magically appearing out of nowhere. Unless you just fix things, because it is unfortunately the final season. They would fix it last moment, but upon his return, I don't think it's going to be like a smooth sailing or anything. It's going to be very dramatic. Yeah, and they also talked about what monsters J2 and Misha want to see back. And Jared talked about the shapeshifter. I really don't like the shapeshifters because they're really boring. They just have the same actors we know, like Jensen and Jared, play a slightly different version of themselves. We've seen that so many times throughout the series, not just shapeshifters, but pretty much all monsters in Supernatural, especially after season 3 or so, have been just humans in a human meat suit, whatever, and sometimes they play with their eyes to make them seem like a monster. That's all the special effects or practical makeup we get to transform a monster look. It's always a human look, so I'm really bored of that. I really don't want shapeshifters, so I don't agree with Jared there that I want to see more shapeshifters. They did talk in a con recently, though, Jared and Jensen, about wanting to have Hookman back. They really liked that episode. And originally, Hookman order of filming was supposed to be a different order. So they filmed it to be like a 3rd episode, but it aired like, the 5th or 6th episode. That was a really cool story in one of the recent cons I've seen. And yeah, I would like to see another Hookman episode. It was really creepy and felt like old-fashioned horror movie style. That's what I really love about season 1, which is my favorite season, as I always say. So I'd like to see a lot of season 1 vibes next season. As we already seen, we had Lillian White at the end of season 14 returning, because Souls from Hell and all of that opening up. So I hope we see a lot of classic monsters from season 1 come back in the final season. And Jensen and Jared already talked about wanting the final season to be as classic, hunting monsters on the road and all of that, like season 1, which I've always been calling for the past, 10, 12 years, whatever. And yeah, I hope they really go for it this time, because that's really only chance to do so. So yeah, that was it for today's video, guys, about Adam's return in the final season. It's officially confirmed now. A lot of speculation, but now we know for sure. Let me know down below in the comments what you think of this news. Are you excited for Adam's return or not so much? Let me know down below in the comments. Subscribe for more awesome Supernatural content. As always, till next time, no chick flick moments.